Welcome into a bonus episode here in Hockey Inside Out. Michael Pezzetta, he had a big moment on Monday against the Buffalo Sabres with his Tiger Williams-like celebration, scoring the game-winning goal in the shootout. Gentlemen, your thoughts on Martin St. Louis using him at that point, and of course his celebration with that beautiful hair flow of his.
I thought it was absolutely awesome. It's one of the highlights of the season for the Canadiens. I thought it was fantastic. I thought it was great for Marty St. Louis to not only give Pezzetta a chance in the shootout, but he gave Kovacevic a chance before Pezzetta. So Kovacevic could have scored the winning goal. He had it on his stick. And when Kovacevic's look on his face when he skated out to center ice, he's like, am I actually doing this? Is he needed to a shootout? And he's, the Canes aren't going in the playoffs. It's Marty St. Louis having some fun and showing guys on the bench, like, okay, your turn. And I think that goes right through the bench. I mean, there's a video the Canadiens posted on Twitter of the players coming into the locker room after the game, and they were just laughing and smiling and celebrating. It was the coolest thing. I thought it was absolutely fantastic. As Pezzetta said, I mean, Buffalo guys might have been upset about it, but as Pezzetta said after the game, he says, when am I ever in my life going to get another chance to score the winning goal in a shootout in the NHL? He knew the move he was going to do when he went in. He has that move. He knew it. It was a good move coming in full speed, and he knew the celebration he was going to do afterwards. And it was so cool when he said it was in honor of Tiger Williams, because Tiger Williams retired 10 years before Michael Pezzetta was born. So the fact that he acknowledged the Tiger Williams celebration, and there's a little bit of Tiger Williams in Mike Pezzetta, a tough guy, fourth liner, will fight, can score the odd goal. But people forget, and what a shock that Michel Therrien thought it was terrible.
Yeah.
What a shock Michel Therrien didn't like it. People like Michel Therrien forget sometimes, I think, that hockey is entertainment and it's show business. And you pay a lot of money for tickets to a game. And if that had happened at the Bell Center, and I was talking with a friend of mine who's a season ticket holder and spends a lot of money every year on his season tickets. I said, how cool would that have been for you if it was at the Bell Center you saw? He said, it would have been amazing. So people pay money to go and be entertained, and it was entertaining. And I think the fact, if it was a top-line player or a superstar who did that, it might have rubbed players on the other team maybe a little bit more the wrong way. But it's Michael Pezzetta. It's a fourth-line guy in the AHL, happy to be in the NHL, and it was an amazing moment. And I'm so happy he did it, because that video will be out there. He'll be able to show it to his kids and his grandkids long after he retired. I just thought it was fantastic.
I mean, to show you how the game has changed, I mean, if that was an opportunity in my day, there's no way they were going to pick my number to get out there and have an opportunity to shoot, But, Mike Pezzetta, perfect way to win, to a guy that's worked hard, deserving, made a great play, made a great goal, and then his little showpiece afterwards, priceless. And that's what it's all about, watching guys like that are happy, excited, and not knocking the opposition, just basically making a little bit of fun and entertainment for everybody that saw it. So no problem with me, and good for him. And Martin St. Louis picking him and giving him the opportunity tells you that he likes him, the team likes him, and he made it happen. So good for him.
Yeah, I think there was a lot more thought that went into the two players that Marty St. Louis picked for that shootout than maybe might have met the eye at the beginning of it. Two guys who've been very unheralded this season. Kovacevic is kind of the forgotten guy among the rookies, but he's been arguably the most consistent guy, playing the smallest role perhaps, but he's been excellent. He's been excellent from the beginning of the season to now. And Michael Pezzetta, I think at the beginning of this year, really struggled at times to find a role. He was basically just there as an agitator, fighter guy. And then, Belzile and Harvey Pinard get called up. And all of a sudden, it's like this spark goes off in Pezzetta. And he's like, oh, I can play hockey. I can make plays. I can score goals. And he's been great, like legitimately very, very good hockey from Michael Pezzetta for the last several months now. So I love that he got this reward. I love that Kovacevic got the opportunity to get rewarded as well. The celebration was fantastic. And as for Michel Therrien and him talking about embarrassing the opponents, I think twofold. Number one, as Rick and Stu both said, at the end of the day, their opponents are still hockey players, and they understand what that moment is for Pezzetta. They know it's not about them. They know it's about a guy who has never gotten that opportunity before, doing something really cool and then getting to celebrate it in a unique way. And the other thing is, I'm sorry, Michel, but if he gets the opponents mad, who cares? They're the opponents. It's not a coordinated dance. It's not synchronized swimming, not to denigrate any of that. I'm not saying that those are lesser sports, but this is a physical game where the opponents are who you're fighting against. This guy chucks knuckles against opponents on a regular basis, and you're going to say that it's a big deal that he celebrated? Give me a break, man. Like, that's the kind of garbage that I think is so wrong with this sport in general. Let the players show their personalities. If somebody gets agitated about it, take care of it within the bounds of the game, and we all get to enjoy that extra entertainment that goes into the game. Like, it's so weird to see people like Michel Therrien who are consistently like tutting players doing like high skilled plays or celebrating when they do something incredible. Like, just let them have fun. From the time that you're a kid until we're watching it as adults, this is still a sport. It's a game to have fun. Let it be fun.
Yeah, and the Michigan goal, which John Tortorella dumps all over, and there's reasons why Michel Therrien isn't coaching in the NHL anymore, and one of the big ones is he can't relate to the younger players. And John Tortorella in Philadelphia has not really done a good job turning that team around. I think it's for similar reasons. And Marty St. Louis can relate to the younger players. He really can, and that's another sign of how he did. I mean, he didn't put those guys, Kovacevic and in the first three shooters. They're the first three regular shooters. Then Marty was like, okay, let's look down the bench. Kovacevic, you're up next. And Pezzetta, you're up next. And if Pezzetta hadn't scored, it would have been interesting to see who was coming up after him. But Pezzetta said he was looking down the bench. He was looking at Alex Burrows, who coached him in assistant coach in Laval when Pezzetta was there. And he says, I know he knew that I had 4 penalty shots in Laval and I scored on 2 of them. I was just sort of hoping he remembers that, and maybe he's going to, and then he got called. And that the other thing I liked was the move. He came in full speed. You see so many guys now coming in like slow motion and dipsy-do. He came in full speed. He picked his corner and he fired it. And it was great. It was so cool.
And I probably, if they zoomed in on the Buffalo bench, there was probably a number of guys there that were laughing within their breath as far as, seeing something like that happen. So, you know what?
It was almost like a home game for the Canadiens. I mean, there were so many Canadiens fans in attendance, and that probably played into a little bit too when he was sort of pointing to the stands at them. It's going to be one of the most memorable moments of this Canadian season for sure.
Yeah. So, Rick, if you got a shootout opportunity and you scored, what's your go-to celebration?
If I ever got the opportunity, I don't know. I don't think I could ride my stick without falling, so I'd have to take that one out. So, I'd have to keep it simple. Maybe do the Solani where you are shooting ducks in the sky. But I don't think that I would have that opportunity, let alone score, even if I did.
If he would have tried that and he said, no, I would have fallen down if I had tried to do right. Anyway, I would have thought about trying it.
A buddy of mine was watching ESPN Sports Center, and Pezzetta's celebration made it onto the Sports Center top 10 highlight moments, right? That's what you need for the NHL to sell the Michigan goal, a Pezzetta highlight, because it becomes contagious, guys. You see in the NFL, MLB now, even NBA, celebration is what young fans like to see from these athletes. And hopefully this could be the first of many things for the NHL to have more celebrations like Pezzetta moving forward. So
one of the problems in the NHL is there's star players like Connor McDavid's an amazing hockey player. He's not much of a personality though. He's just so quiet, and there's so many guys that are like that in the NHL. They don't have personality. Mike Pezzetta's got tons of it with the flowing hair, and he's a little, as I said, he has a little bit of Tiger Williams in him, and it was so cool to see him honor Tiger Williams the way he did.
Well, don't forget to submit your questions and comments here on Hockey Inside Out. We look forward to conversing about that in a future episode. Check out the YouTube page for Hockey Inside Out. And sign up for the newsletter at MontrealGazette.com/newsletters. And for full episodes of bonus content, head on by Hockey Inside Out. On behalf of Andrew, Rick, and Stu, we wish you a great week and more celebrations to come. Bye for now.